My favourite thing about vinyl is just it's more of a personal experience than CD and digital.
Probably just the physicality of it because of the size of the product itself and the packaging.
Just having a physical copy of an album that you love and knowing that you can directly support the artists and bands that you love through that.
I started collecting records because my favourite band put out their newest album on vinyl. I just really like the way it looks, and since then I've got myself a record player. The main appeal of vinyl to me is it's more of an experience. You have to get it up, stand up, flip it over, and it forces you to listen to the whole album in full, which many people don't do nowadays, like with CDs or digital. Also, record labels tend to tell you how many of an exact press of the record there are now, and it makes sort of an incentive to get the rarest records, and it sort of makes it more of a hobby than just listening to music. Overall, my favourite album I own is an album called Take Off Colours by the band Unit 6. It's their debut album, there's only 500 copies of it, and I managed to get signed by most of the band, so as a fan it really means a lot to me.
One of the things about vinyl that intrigued me so much is that this format was the first of its kind. It was the first that was able to record music and then distribute it to the masses. It sort of started the sale of music altogether, and I don't think it's a format that should be forgotten. Nowadays there's so much that you can do with the colour of a record. You can sort of mix and blend the colours together, or you can smash them together. You can add splatter to the record, so you can split two colours in half, or even three ways. Because of this new resurgence of vinyl as a format, it's allowed a lot of the bands and artists and record labels that I support to press older and newer releases onto vinyl. I think the oldest record that I have was recorded in 2006, and so that really goes to show how vinyl has made such a strong comeback that it's allowed for so many new releases to get pressed. And because there's not really any discrimination when it comes to vinyl, I can have pretty much all the music that I love. So I can go from listening to a record by the Wonder Years, who are a pop punk band, to Elle Sweatshirt, who's a rapper, to Taylor Swift after that. It really doesn't matter what genre it is, so long as it exists, it probably is on vinyl.
We opened Red House Records primarily because I've got personal interest in vinyl records, and there was already a lot of information in the media about vinyl records coming back into popularity. Then HMV closed down in the town, and there was nowhere anyone could really buy any sort of proper music from a shop, so it was that point we decided to open a vinyl record section in the shop. I think vinyl's made a big comeback. A lot of it is nostalgia. People my age that used to buy vinyl, it's just a great thing to go back and buy again. And I think for younger people, they're experiencing it for the first time, growing up with CDs and then streaming and then sort of downloads. Vinyl again represents a very physical thing. It's a great thing to look at. You can see it working when you're playing it, and it's the original format for a lot of great bands. I think independent stores have been important in the comeback because they've stuck with it over the years. They haven't completely binned it off down the back and just put CDs at the front. They're still keeping vinyl records there, even though it was in a very small quantity. I think vinyl will sustain itself and be a popular format in the future because it is an important document of that artist's output at the time that they recorded that particular music, and it is something people like to collect and own.